Buenos dias, and welcome to More Colombian Than an Arepa podcast. I'm Sam, your host.
And I'm your other half, Nick.
You may have heard of this place. It's called the Maldives of Colombia. White sand beaches, crystal clear waters, and a Caribbean paradise just off the coast of Colombia. San Andrés looks like a dream, but is it really worth the trip? Today, we're going to give you the ultimate guide. We're going to give you everything that you need to know to visiting San Andrés, where to stay, what to do, some things to avoid, and if the island is on your bucket list, then you won't want to miss this one. So let's get right into it.
Let's get into it.
Okay, so I thought first off we would do the entire podcast on when to visit, where to stay, where and what to eat, what to do, how to get there, and how long to stay.
So everything.
Everything. And if you're new here, thank you so much for joining us. We are Sam and Nick. We have document our life here in Colombia on our social medias at Colombia_expats. And in January of this year, in 2025, we actually visited a long-awaited island that so many people wanted us to go visit, called San Andrés, and it did not disappoint.
It definitely did not disappoint.
It did not disappoint. I'm actually dreaming of it right now because I'm in my cozy sweatshirt. If you're watching this over on Spotify or on YouTube, I'm in my cozy sweatshirt right now because it's cold outside in Medellin.
It's not that cold. It's 70 degrees.
I know, but compared to San Andrés,
San Andrés is Caribbean weather. We'll just say that. It's
paradise. Hot. Paradise for me, at least.
Well, this is paradise for me. If you can see, I'm in shorts and a t-shirt while Sam's bundled up.
But San Andrés is actually an island that's close to Nicaragua, but is part of Colombia. It is a Caribbean island that is part of the country of Colombia, but the craziest thing about it is actually the language, the language on this island is like a Creole language that leans more toward English than Spanish.
Like African Creole English.
Yeah. It's kind of like, when we were there, people were telling us it's kind of like this, similar to Jamaican English. So it's kind of got this Creole, but a lot of people...
has a big Jamaican vibe for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But everyone speaks Spanish there too. So, and we actually probably heard more Spanish than we did English.
Yeah, and the Spanish is so different.
But let's just jump right into San Andrés. How does that sound?
All right, let's go.
Okay, the first thing on my list, Nick, is when to visit. Do you want to go into that one?
I'm trying to think when. We visited in...
End of January. Yes.
I think the high season is January to March.
Yeah, the high season, according to online, is November to March.
Oh, I was wrong. Okay. I thought the rainy season was from September to December.
No, there's rain. I think it's just rainy. It's like a Caribbean island. It rained when we were there, too.
It stormed. Yeah, so definitely plan around that. It is a beach vacation, but also these tropical crazy storms coming, I think, every day.
Right. And it's it's in the Caribbean, but it's closer to the coast of Nicaragua. Yeah. So it's not deep into the Caribbean. What is that? East Caribbean, where it's where Jamaica and
it's a little more inland.
More inland. So I think the weather can be a little bit vary a little bit over there.
And the wind is crazy.
The wind in January was absolutely insane.
I don't know if it's when we were just there or if that's just a typical thing, but it was so windy.
It was
crazy wind.
Yeah. We'll go into that
too. Hold on to your hat.
But
that would have been a good intro. Hold on to your hat.
Hold on to your hat.
We're going into San Andrés.
That is exactly the right way to describe San Andrés in January, at least. But we had heard that November we've heard is a really beautiful month, and we follow these amazing people in San Andrés, and they're actually a good handle for you to follow too if you're interested. They do tours and they post every day. They post a video of what the weather is in San Andrés, so you can kind of gauge what the weather is and what islands near the main island of San Andrés are open or closed. Their name is Turisteando San Andrés.
Oh yeah, they're great.
I'll link them in the show notes below because they were an amazing tour. Like they were just awesome people. And just, it was such a great tour with them. And I've been following them for a while because they really show a lot about San Andrés.
Yeah.
And, give
And they show you the
tips
weather and stuff.
Yeah.
He posts about the weather every day. It's really
awesome.
really unique.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, he was also posting, okay, I got a little sidetracked, but he was also posting, his name is Moise, I think, and he's like the nicest man, but he was also posting about, March, like the weather this month so far, and it is beautiful and it's less choppy. The water's less choppy. It's less windy there right now. And he was like, "You got to come back right now."
Okay, that's good to know. So I guess if you're listening or watching, then March is the time to go.
March is the time to go. And perhaps you've been on a different time of year. And if you know someone who has visited San Andrés on a different time of year and the weather was great, let us know in the comments below because we will be going back and we're searching for the best month to visit San Andrés.
And also, I'm wondering, because we have been told two different things. So San Andrés is kind of like what Puerto Rico is to the U.S., right? It's like a territory, but it's not technically part of the country. I'm not sure. So if you know for sure, let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
Like how that whole situation's worked, because we've heard it's not owned, it's just a territory, but it has Colombian influence.
Yeah.
But when you go there, like it's so Caribbean and Jamaican feeling.
It's totally different.
Like instead of saying water, they say wata.
Yes. And they have like, it's like reggae music. And it's just totally different. Although it's kind of like.
That's our vibe for sure.
Reggae meets reggaeton music. It's like a little.
Yeah, that's true.
It's awesome.
That's true.
It's awesome. Okay, so we covered when to visit. Now let's cover where to stay because there are different places on the island.
Yeah, it's a very small island. So that's something to consider.
Yeah,
so
tiny.
I'd say there's like 2 areas.
Yeah,
maybe 3.
2 main areas.
2 main areas. Yeah.
The first one is the town center.
Yeah, like, we'll call it downtown. You know, it's very very small, so don't expect skyscrapers and all that. But it's fairly small, and you can't really go wrong because everything is walking distance. So if you're worried about being close to the beach, anywhere in that little downtown area, you're like, less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, the main beaches in San Andrés are in
it's
the
right
downtown
next to the airport.
area.
So if you're wondering where that is on the island, it's like a 2-minute drive from the airport.
Yeah, and all the
like
main beaches
literally
are there.
2 minutes.
And you can and like all the main restaurants, like most of the things you find are going to be in that downtown area.
Yeah.
And I'd say it's probably the most popular place, especially for first-time visitors, is probably to stay in that downtown area.
Yeah. And then, I'm sure we're going to talk about the golf carts and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very easy to see the whole island. I mean, you could do the whole island in 3 hours?
Yeah, we're not there yet. We haven't done what to do
yet.
You're jumping ahead. But the downtown area is also where you can find some all-inclusive resorts.
Yeah.
We did not stay at an all-inclusive resort, but we have heard, what is it called, Decameron?
Decameron, something like that. They have like 3 hotels. They're massive.
Yeah, and those are all inclusive resorts that you can stay at. And
but if you're someone that likes luxury or needs luxury, I would say there's only one hotel that provides luxury like that.
Yeah.
And it's called Nativo.
It's Nativo Collection, and that is where Nick and I stayed. And Nativo Collection was by far, it's a new hotel on the island, and it's by far the most luxury hotel on the island.
Yeah, by far. And it's beautiful. The rooftop is amazing. The pool is nice.
They're not even done with the hotel completely. Like, they're working on a gym, and they're building onto it.
And it's on the main street.
Yeah.
So there's like one main street that's closed off to traffic in the town center, we'll say. And Nativo is on that main street, and it's like you're a 15-second walk from the beach and any shop that you need.
It's right there. Like, it's in the perfect location. And the rooms are just absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
They have 3 restaurants. They're building a 4th one. Like, it's just all around a great place to stay. So if you're looking for luxury on the island, like that's a very good luxury hotel.
And the prices aren't too bad yet. So maybe get there before people start finding out about it, and then the prices go up a lot.
But yeah, so that's one and probably the most popular area for people to stay when they go visit San Andrés. But there is a different area in a different part of the island that you'll find like resorts and beach clubs and other, like the resorts that back up to the beach kind of thing. It's more secluded. It's a little bit further from the airport. And by further, I mean like 17 minutes versus 2. And it's called San Luis.
Yeah, so I guess the best way to separate them would be like if you're going with your family, maybe go to the town area where the all-inclusive and all that. But if you're with a partner or you're by yourself, maybe go check out San Luis. I wouldn't say there is anything crazy nice out there. There are some, decent hotels. But if you just want to be away from everything and just on the beach, honestly, the beaches aren't that big out there. Yeah. And the waves are super intense. So I think it's more of like
again, that was probably in January when we were there.
That was our experience. The waves, like it almost not swimmable to a point, but if beach clubs are your thing, San Luis is the area to go to.
And there's tons of restaurants over there, too, that you can go to. And a lot of people just go, like, if you've been to San Andrés, like, that's a good second time place to go stay in. We drove by it in our golf cart, which we'll tell you a little bit more about soon, but it's beautiful over there. Like, it's really nice.
Yeah, and I feel there's not much infrastructure. Like, there's not many stores and whatnot, but that's the charm to it. Yeah. There's just like not much there. It almost kind of feels like desolate.
Yeah, but you're still like a 10-minute drive, 15-minute drive to the town. So it's so easy.
And it's the most beautiful part of the island.
Yeah, for sure, with the palm trees and it's stunning. So those are the two main places that you can stay at when you're in San Andrés. And of course, there are other hotels and other places on the island that you can stay at. But those I think are like the two most popular places to stay. Okay, so now we're going to move on to where and what to eat in San Andrés because there's a ton of restaurants, a ton of places to choose from all over the island and lots of delicious food. So do you want to go into what to eat?
Well, first off, there's a pretty good variety. So it's not just Colombian food. It's not just like, I don't know, Jamaican food or something like that, like Caribbean food. So you can get healthy food, salads, stuff like that. So I would say there's like a good variety. So fried fish is not your go-to meal like it is for Sam. Then there's a lot of options.
But fried fish is probably one of the most popular things.
Like seafood in general.
Yeah. Okay, tell them a little bit about some of the top
All right.
food.
So our number one, we went there twice.
Oh, you're going right into restaurants.
Oh, I thought that's what we were doing.
I was saying the top food, like the different types of food there.
Like the coast food, so like on the Caribbean coast, the Colombian coast.
Well, it is the Caribbean.
Cartagena, Barranquilla, like all that is famous for fried fish, coconut rice, some of my favorite foods ever.
Yeah.
So they have
shrimp rice,
shrimp, lobster, all that kind of stuff. That's probably the most, we'll say, like authentic food to the island.
Yeah. You don't find on the island
kind of Creole.
You don't find on the island like chicharrón and chorizo like you would do in mainland Colombia.
It's mostly seafood. And I would say probably the most delicious thing I had was this shrimp and rice Creole dish, and it was flavors were insane.
Oh my gosh,
but I'll tell you where that is in a minute.
And I think another like popular thing on the island,
Pizza?
unfortunately. Well, yeah, I guess.
I think.
But unfortunately, we couldn't eat it because the wind was too strong when we were there, and they couldn't fish for this specific fish. But the island's kind of well known for red snapper, which is my most favorite fish in the world.
They call it something else. There's no name for it, but it is snapper.
So good. It is honestly the best fish in the world, and they couldn't fish for it, unfortunately, when we were there.
That's okay.
But it's okay. I had barracuda. That was the first time I had barracuda. Honestly, I'm down for any fried fish. Like, give me a whole fried fish and I'll eat the whole thing in one sitting happily and easily. And Nick is down for the coconut rice. It's like between the two of us, we're like, let's just hang out on the coast or on the island of Colombia. He also had this insane lobster there.
That was my treat meal on the last night.
It was
expensive, but honestly, totally worth it.
Totally worth it.
The butter oh God, and it was a ton of lobster for the price. I think
it was like 3 tails or something.
Yeah, 2 or 3 tails.
How much was it? Was it like $30?
I think I paid $150,000 or $130,000, somewhere around that. Yeah. So you could definitely share that with probably 2 to 3 people.
Yeah, it was a lot.
But I ate it on my own.
Yeah, happily. Okay, so now I know you're excited to talk about this one specific restaurant, but okay, where did we eat on the island?
All right, all this food we've been talking about, this delicious, it's called Niko's, Niko, and it's not on the beach. It kind of backs up to the water, so the tables, like
you get a great view.
Water crashing onto the outside terrace is kind of cool. But the food is so good.
It's insane.
Some of the best food I think I've had
ever,
yeah.
Yeah.
One of my top places.
We are never people who like to go back to the same restaurant because there's just so many restaurant options, and we're like, let's try somewhere new. But this one we went back to. Yeah. And we kind of stumbled upon it.
The first time we went was I got that shrimp and rice dish, the Creole. Ooh. 10 out of 10 recommend.
It's like 9:30 a.m. right now, and that sounds so good.
It was just so savory and delicious, and I probably had like 50 shrimps in there.
Yeah, it was, and the shrimp was like perfectly cooked.
They did not skimp on, and it was a huge portion. You could share it with probably 2 to 3 people. That's how big it was.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. Okay, another couple of restaurants that are really popular there. Well, you can find chains like Beer Station is there too. Yeah. So if you want like something you're familiar with,
to pop up.
Yeah. And then what was that restaurant that was right on the beach that we walked by like a billion times? Do you remember? It was like that restaurant kind of by Niko's. By that
Which one?
Gosh, it was. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like. Right, I'm gonna find what it was called. But
okay, cool story.
While I find what it's called, you want to talk about Wata and like that amazing restaurant in the hotel that we.
Oh yeah, so in Nativo they have a restaurant. Well, one of the 3, it's called Wata, and that's where I'm sure that's how you say it, Wata. And they serve breakfast there, lunch there, and the breakfast is phenomenal. So if you stay at Nativo, I'm not sure if the breakfast costs extra. I don't remember. But it was so delicious. Breakfast was amazing, and the view from the dining room is incredible. And then lunch, man, just hang out by the pool, drink some beer, and then just stumble over there to get some food.
It was delicious.
Yeah.
And so much options.
Yeah, they had a lot of good food. Their fish, everything.
Okay, I found the name of it. It was called Cafe, remember? That one. It was always busy. It literally had someone there.
And the only reason I kept looking at it is because it's literally called Cafe.
Cafe. And it's in like the main part of the town area, and it was always busy. Yeah. The whole time. We didn't go, but
we never went, so I don't want to recommend it, but it was very busy. So it could either be the location, because it's literally across the street from the beach. Yeah. Or it's really that good where it's that busy. So Cafe. Let us know in the comments if that's something we missed out on.
Or we'll just have to go back and try it.
Or I guess we just have to go back.
There was one more restaurant I wanted to mention that was just so good, and it was called Booby Rock. And you had to drive to it. It was on the other side of the island, but it was also kind of like a beach club, even though there was no beach. But you could like rent a cabana and hang out all day there, and like motorcycle or golf cart out there.
And no one was there.
No, it was awesome. And the food was, that's where I had barracuda.
Super meaty fish. So if you've never had barracuda and that freaks you out, it's really not bad at all. It's really meaty.
Delicious.
And it's a lot of fish on one little piece because a barracuda is...
It's ginormous.
I don't know if you're watching, but they're like really long, skinny fish. They're like snakes of the water, basically. Yeah. And they give you like a piece, and there's so much meat on it.
There's so much meat to it. Like we could have shared one.
It's like the ribeye of the sea.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. That's Chef Nick over there talking.
The ribeye of the sea.
Okay, so did we cover the restaurants and stuff that you like wanted to talk about?
Booby Rock. I want to just mention that one. That one we spent like the whole. I know, but we spent like the whole afternoon there.
Yeah, we did.
You can snorkel. So I bought some snorkeling gear. You can snorkel next door. I think they do scuba diving. But the water, like I said, is a little bit treacherous. So if you're not a strong swimmer, I don't recommend just jumping in. But on that side of the island, also, it's a lot of coral and stuff, so a lot more fish.
Yeah. And it's way less touristy over there.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of people over there.
Which is amazing. And it's more, it goes into like the diversity of this one island because that side is like no sandy beaches. It's all like
rocks.
Beautiful rocky cliffs. And then the other side is like all sandy beaches. And it's literally, like an hour and a half around the island. So,
but the flip side, because we talked about the wind a lot, that the other side where there are no beaches, there's almost like no wind.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, like so you trade the beach for the wind.
Yeah, exactly.
But that was our experience.
So now let's go into the what to do in San Andres. How does that sound? Because there's a ton.
There's a ton, but also I think you just go there to like hang out.
There's a ton to do in San Andres.
So whether you're a beach person and you just want to sit on the beach and do nothing all day, or you need to be active all day, something for everybody.
So first, let's talk about the different islands that you can visit. There's an island called Johnny Cay Island, which is absolutely 1,000% worth the treacherous ride out there and worth spending all day. Like, go in the morning and stay to the last boat because it is, you can't stay overnight there, and it is truly fantastic. It's so beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. That island actually kind of blew my mind because you could see it from the town area.
Yeah.
It's really not that far away, and it just looks like a little island with some palm trees. But when you get there,
oh my gosh,
it is pretty big, and there's a lot of people there, and there's a lot going on. So there's like grassy areas to hang out in the shade. There's cool lizards and stuff. There's, I think the best beach is actually on that island.
Yeah, it's stunning. But get there early.
Yeah, get there early. I mean, there are people with like, where they rent like chairs and stuff like that. So if you want to rent a chair and hang out on the beach. So I think that's definitely a full day activity you need to do. We
got there at like noon, and we thought that was going to be too long because it was like noon till 3:30, and we were like, that's going to be we wish that we had gotten there at 9 or like 8 and stayed there all day because 3 hours was not enough time. It was just so beautiful. Yeah. They have these amazing drinks if you like to drink alcohol. It's called Coco Locos.
Just be careful.
Be careful. But it's on this island.
It's like a one and done situation.
But if you want to spend all day out there, like eat some fried fish or shrimp and like drink a Coco Loco all day, it is so much fun. So
Coco Loco.
It is loco.
To compare it to something, we actually made it. So if you watched our YouTube San Andres video, Sam compared it to
Jungle Juice.
Jungle Juice. So if you're familiar with that, it's pretty much exactly what it is.
It's an entire bar in a drink, pretty much.
They just put everything, 6 or 7 kinds of alcohol, and then they splash a little fruit punch in there.
It's too much fun, but it is a treacherous ride out there. It's worth it, but treacherous. Okay, so another island nearby is called Rocky Cay, and apparently we didn't go to this one, but apparently this is where people love to go scuba diving. There's like ships and things that are abandoned, cool. And you can like scuba dive through them and stuff, and it's less touristy, so that's a really popular one. Another thing you can do and stay in is an island called Providencia, which is a flight away. You have to fly to there on like a smaller airplane from San Andres, but people say it's even better than San Andres, and you can stay there and it's not super touristy. We again did not do that, but we will go back and just go to Providencia probably at some point, because everyone swears by it there. Okay, so those are like probably, and then one more area, and then we'll go into activities. But one more area is called Aquario, which is the outdoor aquarium that you can go snorkeling, you can go scuba diving in this area, and apparently it just has amazing fish. Nick went snorkeling, but it was super choppy that day.
It was choppy, and there was a lot of people, but the fish literally like brush up against your leg. They're not scared.
You loved it.
So, and there are thousands of fish, and they're colorful, and it's beautiful, and the water is crystal clear.
Yeah, it's like the clearest water near the island, I think.
But again, there are some waves, so if you're not a strong swimmer, maybe ask someone else to do it.
So we went to the Aquario in the morning on a sunrise tour, and that was
10 out of 10, 12 out of 10 recommend.
Yeah, must do it.
I was not too excited about waking up early to ride on a boat in the pitch dark in the ocean.
But it was amazing. It was so worth it.
Yeah, it was incredible.
And we went again with Turisteando San Andrés, and they were just so fantastic. They give you breakfast. It's really choppy. I don't know if it is all the time, but when we went, it was a really choppy morning. But the water made us a little seasick. But it was so worth it when you got out there. And there's this super long bridge. We got lucky too.
Yeah, we got lucky with the rain. It rained right before we got out there.
And as we came back.
But the rain created these clouds that so when the sun came up, it just reflected on the different dark and light color clouds. It was really cool.
It was awesome.
So first we were a little nervous because we thought we'd go all the way out there and it would just be raining, but it was actually pretty spectacular.
It's amazing. And there's, again, like that bridge. It's a super famous. Whenever you Google San Andres, you'll see this bridge.
And it's a little island out there, too. Yeah. So if you want to hang out, you can hang out on the little island.
It's awesome.
Snorkel. Yeah.
It's a great time.
That one's really small. It's not like Johnny K.
Yeah. Okay, so now let's go into some activities you can do. One of the activities we didn't do, but Nick almost did, we just ran out of time, was scuba diving. That's like probably the number one thing to do there.
Yeah.
There are billions of scuba diving schools. If you don't know how to scuba dive, if you're an expert scuba diver, you can do it all there. You could go parasailing. There's tons of that. What else can you do?
Ooh, kite surfing. I would say that's probably number one. A lot of kite surfing.
Yes. Jet skiing.
Although I think the waves were a little too intense for jet skiing.
They were really intense, but a lot of people were jet skiing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, what's it called? The one where you put that like thing over your head and you go under the water. Like it's almost like scuba diving, but it's like
it's like snorkeling and scuba diving combined.
Like you go all the way under. You submerge all the way under.
You like sink to the bottom. You just kind of stand on the bottom. You don't really walk around.
It's like a personal submarine.
Yeah. It's like a helmet. You put I don't know the name. If you remember the name, let us know in the comments.
But you can do that. That's a popular thing to do.
I wanted to do that.
I know. We tried, Nick. But again, like there's so much to do on the island.
Yeah.
So... But the most popular thing to do on the island, the number one thing you have to do is rent a golf cart and drive around the island. Everyone does it. Everyone.
The golf cart, honestly, was my favorite part.
It was the best. It was the best day.
It was, like, even if you don't want to explore or, like, see anything else, it's nice to just drive around.
Yeah.
See it, because you can rent them. So if you're staying in the town center, let's say, you'll see them everywhere. And if you want to rent one, you don't know where to rent one.
Check out our video.
Check out the video. We recommended one that we found, and it was great, and the price was great. But there are just so many.
You can rent it for like a half day, a whole day, multiple
and negotiate
days.
The price.
Yeah, negotiate
the price because you're going to get a gringo price, I'll be honest. And then just say, look, this is what I saw online. Bada boom, bada bang.
Yeah, don't spend a dime over 250,000
look up the prices
pesos for a day.
Just to kind of see.
Yeah.
And then go in there prepared.
Yeah. And it's so fun. It takes, like we said, an hour and a half to go around the whole island. But if you stop a lot like we did, it takes even longer. Yeah. We actually did a whole video of us on the golf cart on YouTube.
Go check that out.
On our YouTube channel. It's like fun. A 12-minute video. So if you want to see like what it's like to ride a golf cart all around the island, our YouTube channel is at Colombia_expats, and we did like the whole golf cart thing. It was the best day.
And if you want to see me in my prime, that was at my happiest.
He was so happy. It's just so fun, and like everyone does it.
And everyone pulls off. Like they tell you not to park where there's not a lot of people parking, but honestly, like you just stop for like 2 seconds anyway, so just pull off on the side of the road and check out the beach for a minute and then just keep moving.
And we said it was such a diverse island. Like you see so much. You know what we did that was super fun too is we stopped. We looked up the flight times because the airport is so it's a tiny island. And the airport, the planes land like right above you and they take off right above you.
Go right underneath the end of the runway.
It's crazy. So we found the times and we went and like hung out under the runway to see some airplanes land. It was so much fun. It was just like a great way to spend the day, don't you think?
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Maybe not for everyone, but we love to fly, so I think it was a little more exciting for us than most people.
Yeah, we were so excited. So yeah, the golf cart was by far one of our most favorite things that we did in San Andres. And then you can also do things like we said, beach clubs, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so if you're staying in San Luis, for example, you probably want to rent it for multiple days. So because the only way to get out to San Luis is maybe if you can find a taxi. I don't even know how you would do that, or the golf cart.
Yeah.
And then you can just park it wherever you stay.
Park it wherever. Mm-hmm. Okay, so now let's move on how to get there with one specific tip that we learned the hard way. And that is you get there by flying from any major city here in Colombia. You can get there. But on any major airline, let me just say. But there was an island tax that we didn't know about before.
That one hurt.
Yeah, so do you want to explain what that is?
So we didn't know. It's like a tourism tax. You know, like you're paying for a visa, whatever, on arrival. But this you have to pay for ahead of time.
Yeah.
And I did not read this anywhere. Maybe I just missed it. And we were charged literally as we were boarding the flight. Like they were about to scan the boarding pass to get onto the jetway thing. And they said, "Do you have your tourism tax thing?" We said, "No." They have a thing right there ready for you.
Luckily, they have it there, though.
Well, I don't think they let you on the plane if you didn't have it.
Yeah.
But I did read, and that was 150,000 pesos each. So they definitely, Avianca.
No, I think it was more than that. I think it was like close to like I can't remember, 200 or something.
Point is, buy it before.
Yeah,
just
it's
research
cheaper.
it. Look, it's probably on the government website or whatever. But if you forget about it, like we did, Avianca or whatever airline you fly, will definitely take their cut off it. But you don't have an option at that point.
Yeah, you just kind of have to do it. But it was something we wish we had known.
Yep.
And you have to show it when you get out, and you have to keep the document and show it when you leave the island
through
too.
passport.
Yeah. Okay, so that's one thing that we wish we had known. When you arrive in San Andres, there are a billion people offering to drive you wherever, like taxis. No Uber on the island, so just hop in a taxi. It shouldn't be more than, what was it, like
The taxi from the
25,000
airport?
pesos?
From the airport?
Yeah.
Airport to town center, it should be 25,000 pesos or less.
Yeah.
Yeah, we heard like 20. Some people said 30, but our taxi driver charged us 25.
Yeah. And it takes like 3 minutes. You can walk too if you have nothing.
Yeah, I think it's like 20-minute walk. So if you're light, if you travel light, then that could also be an option if you don't want to take a taxi. It's like the airport is like in a neighborhood basically.
Yeah.
There's no it's not out in the middle of nowhere like most airports.
Don't be worried. And they speak English.
Yeah.
Most of them speak English and most of them speak Spanish. Don't be worried. Just go hop in a taxi. Look for people who look like taxi drivers, and you'll be fine. Okay, so the last thing I want to cover, and then a couple of tips, is how long to stay. We stayed for 5 nights, and that was enough.
I think it depends on what you're looking for. Yeah, I think if what we did, I think 3 nights was enough.
Yeah.
I think if you want to stay longer, if you did 5 nights, I would do maybe a night or 2 in San Luis. And if you're there for a week or more, I would say you can do
Providencia, maybe.
The town, the city center, San Luis, and Providencia. You could do all 3 in a week.
Yeah, definitely.
Without stressing out and being you're doing too much.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, a couple of tips that I want to give right at the end here is safety. We did hear from multiple people that after night, just stick to the common walking path areas where all the people are. Don't veer away from them.
Don't dodge papaya.
Yeah, don't give papaya. Don't give people the opportunity to do something they shouldn't be doing. And if you're...
It never felt unsafe, though. It never felt like I was... You're not going to wander to the areas where you shouldn't be walking.
Right.
You know what I mean? You really have to go out of your way.
You're going to stay to the main areas.
Yeah, you're going to stick to the... Yeah, exactly.
But, for example, we went on a sunrise, and we had to leave at, 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And... we were in walking distance to the port.
It was like a 7-minute walk or a 3-minute drive or something.
And we asked about with our front desk and with the tour guide, is it safe to walk there? And they just said, take a taxi. So we got a taxi in advance. The hotel arranged it. They picked us up and he drove us. It was way too much money. I think it was, again, flat 25,000 pesos.
He charged us the whole amount to the airport.
And it was a 2-minute drive. But we listened to the locals, and I think that that's just what you have to do.
So that's up to your discretion, though. If you want to walk, that's totally up to you.
Yeah. Another thing that you should know is that the water is not safe to drink there. So I would just drink bottled water. It is North American plugs. So if you're from the United States or Canada, you can use your normal plugs there. And the other thing that I had one more thing I wanted to say. The main walking path, you can buy a lot of like tax-free things.
Oh, duty-free stuff.
Duty-free things. But make sure you find the credible store for it, because we've heard that sometimes they can be a scam. But like Nick got a cologne that he loves for really inexpensive, and it was real. So
it was definitely real.
Just fine if you want to.
I opened up the cologne packaging to make sure.
And check out our Instagram video. We did a video about that if you want to see where we went, because they were a legit business. So those are just some tips. Those are some things that I hope helped you when you are planning your trip to San Andrés.
Which you should.
Which you should absolutely go. It's one of our favorite places that we've traveled to in the country, and we cannot wait to go back. It's like our anniversary in a couple of weeks, and I was like, do we just go back to San Andrés?
Oh, I didn't mention it. It's really not that hot.
No, it's not that hot.
Like the coast of Colombia is super hot, and I was expecting the island to be even hotter than that.
Yeah.
Pretty mild humid. I mean, it's humid, but it's pretty mild for the most part, and it's windy. Maybe that's why I didn't feel that hot. So if you're wondering if it's crazy hot, it's not too bad.
No, it's not too bad. But thank you so much for sticking around. I hope we convinced you to go to San Andrés if you maybe never thought about it before. If you know anyone that is going to San Andrés, make sure to send them this podcast, which will hopefully give them all the tips that they need to know. Thank you so much for sticking around. Please go follow us over on our social media at More Colombian Than an Arepa. No, there's no podcast. Just at More Than a Colombian Arepa.
What are you saying right now?
At More Colombian Than an Arepa.
This right here. If you're watching the video, this is the name. More Colombian Than an Arepa.
If you want to watch all of our videos for San Andrés over on our social medias, go check it out at Colombia_expats. Thank you so much for sticking around. And until next time, hasta pronto.